This is part 2 of how are the tables turning for you at this time, and we are going to be expanding this and looking at what does this mean in the bigger picture of your life. Initially, I felt a little rushed and only touched lightly on some of the shifts and the changes that are coming in for you, and I'm excited to have a little bit of a deeper look at some of the meanings behind these cards and how the tables are turning for you. The centerpiece of this message really is highlighted with the Justice card, which was the first card to come out. And with the Eight of Wands, these changes are happening really rapidly. This is often a card that speaks of Cupid's arrow, and we of course have Valentine's Day coming up in the next few weeks. Traditionally, the time frame of this card speaks of something happening within 8 days, 8 weeks, or 8 months. So there is rapid transformation and change that is coming. And some of the subjects that I felt that this Justice card was talking about were certainly talking about relationships. It also felt like there could be themes around a home, there could be themes around your passion and your purpose, and there could be some legal matters here too. I would like to talk about this Justice card a little bit more in depth, as I felt that I really skimmed over what I wanted to say in part 1. Certainly it is talking about the physical realm, and it is talking about perhaps injustices that you have experienced and everything coming back into balance for you, that there is going to be this truth that is revealed. This is a card that speaks about cause and effect. And I'm very much picking up on not just these laws of the land, but also these higher laws, the laws of the universe. Especially when it comes to soul contracts and your higher purpose, and it's that I did not have time to speak of in the previous video. And it does feel like it's a little bit of a follow-on from yesterday's reading. Prior to coming to Earth, we had many agreements with different souls. A lot of these agreements would be between family members who we were birthed to, and then it could be talking about soulmates, twin flames, and even twin souls. We can see from the Four of Wands that divine counterparts are part of this conversation. This particular card is known as the 1111 card, the card of divine counterparts. These higher laws, when it comes to our soul contracts and even our purpose, are often forgotten when we come to Earth. In a traditional Justice card, you would see that there is actually a curtain, a veil that is placed behind the Justice. And the veil within the Justice card is very symbolic of the unknown, and really having to tune in to your own intuition. Now, what I have seen and experienced time and time again is that there are those of us who have been able to see behind the veil. In fact, that veil may have been almost completely removed. And when we meet these divine counterparts, we remember who they are to us. It is like an instant recognition, especially when we are talking about soulmates, twin flames, and twin souls. I am absolutely fascinated with each of these divine counterparts and their types, and I have studied them and experienced them for decades. And here are some of my personal observations. A soulmate will generally recognize you back, and soulmates come in many different forms. They can be platonic, and they can be romantic, or they can be family. And these are souls that you have lived many, many lifetimes together. And often you have worked out all of the kinks between the both of you. And so this is usually a very easy, beautiful experience that you have in this lifetime. And you may have played different roles to each other in different lifetimes. And then we have the twin flames and the twin souls. I'm going to come back to the twin flames in a moment. Twin souls, I feel, are extremely rare. And I feel that this is who these cards are speaking of, a twin soul coming through for you. As someone who has experienced the beautiful companionship of a soulmate, to have also experienced the roller coaster of a ride that a twin flame journey is. And I was on that roller coaster ride for decades. And I do truly understand its purpose. But having gone from that to being in union with my twin soul, I can tell you that there is nothing else that matches. And maybe it is just simply terminology, but in regards to how the tables are turning for you, let me explain. Many who are in this collective are experiencing their twin flame. And as I mentioned earlier, that can be a real roller coaster of a ride. There are usually numerous challenges within the dynamic. This can speak of third-party situations. This can speak of cultural differences, age differences, religious differences. There could be large bodies of water, location challenges. And from anyone who has experienced it, they will know it is a bumpy ride. And typically what happens when you meet your twin flame is this veil that we have spoken about earlier comes right down. And you can feel your connection between yourself and your twin flame. You recognize who they are to you, and you have this soul longing to be united to them. 12:12 on my clock as I am recording. Now, part of the issue is with this veil being removed from you. You can feel and you can see clearly how you have this soul contract together. However, for them, the veil may only be partly down or not down at all. They may feel this incredible magnetic energy and this pull towards you, but they may not fully understand the purpose and the soul contract that you had made prior to coming to Earth. And that can be very hurtful to you, as you can feel all of this. Like I say, you have this knowing and this ability to feel that soul connection. And to many that I am talking to at this time, you are the divine feminine. And I'm not talking about gender, I'm talking about your very essence. You have this very beautiful, soft, nurturing, and very psychic, gifted ability. And you see, you carry great wisdom here with you. We see these stars, and they are meant to be symbolic of the Pleiades. We see this necklace here that is called an ankh. And if you go and study what the ankhs mean, that it is talking about great sexuality, this magnetism. It also speaks about sacred union and how this sexuality is seen as the pathway to enlightenment. The merging of the divine feminine and the divine masculine creates profound healing and activation of the higher self. This union is not purely physical, although there is that aspect, but is the merging of these two complementary forces to create harmony and spiritual enlightenment. And for those that have experienced it, they will know it. Now, with the tables turning, for those that have experienced a twin flame connection, where your twin flame is continually pulling away from you and they are not evolving, as we had seen in yesterday's video, they are not evolving at the same rate that you are. First of all, that doesn't mean that any one of you is better than the other. That might actually be part of the soul contract to push you, because what it does is it channels you to really go deeper within. Neither of you will ever be the same as who you were prior to meeting one another. But if you have out-evolved your twin flame, and they are continually on this loop that we spoke of yesterday. And for many, they have been given sufficient time, and Spirit has been trying to get their attention time after time after time. And if they have still continued on this loop, then this is where I see that others will be made in union with their twin soul. And you know what? From my experience, your twin soul is very, very similar to your twin flame in all of their little characteristics, potentially even their looks. But they are ready, and they are in the same vibrational frequency as you are. And that is what I feel that this reading is talking about. Yes, it can absolutely be talking about legalities, and it can be talking about homes and experiences that we are having on the physical plane. But I also believe for many, it is talking about this justice here where we have really evolved into our highest version of ourselves. And really there is no end to this evolution. You can continue to become higher and higher version of yourself, and embodying all that you are meant to be in this particular lifetime. Cause and effect are real concepts, and it is only justice that if in this lifetime you desire to be in a high level relationship, then you will receive that in this lifetime. Can this talk about a twin flame who is shifting and changing? Absolutely it can. I believe that things can change in an absolute instant. However, for many, I feel once again that this is talking about a brand new relationship that is coming through here with this Ace of Cups, where you are going to experience unconditional love. You are someone who has the ability and the capacity for this unconditional love, and you hold that for others, and now it is your turn to experience this, to be loved for who you truly are. And this is a very rare gift. This love and this relationship may be part of your life's purpose here. And when I have done personal readings for others, it often comes out that part of their purpose is to be in union with their divine counterpart. The energies of career and love often go hand in hand. This abundance that it creates, it can change the dynamic of a particular path. You know how powerful you are on your own and the ability that you have to create on your own. But can you imagine, as that power and as those energies are combined, the force that you can create? It reminds me of what I said earlier about the Eight of Wands, where it was spinning with velocity. The person who is coming in is going to support all of your dreams, all of your wishes, and all of your desires. With the King of Cups, this is someone whose goal is to make sure that you are happy. This cup is going to be filled with love and emotion. You are never going to wonder what this person's feelings are towards you. They will be able to express it beautifully. All aspects of your life are going to be touched by this particular relationship, and that is what it is saying in regards to the table that is turning. For some of you, there may be a counterpart that isn't ready to move forward with you. And you will always get the choice whether you choose to wait for that person, and that may require repeating cycles. Certainly, it's something that I played out for almost 20 years. I'm a slow learner though. But once you really put yourself on this pedestal, then all things change. I have a few offerings for you today. The first is a beginner's tarot class that I have created. It is a beautiful online course. This can be done in your own time, and there is no expiry date. You can take as long as you need, and there is an opportunity for accreditation at the end of this. Currently, it is set at $44. Secondly, I invite anyone who wants to learn about their own personal soul contracts to have a same-day reading with me where we can look at these different soul contracts together and what might the outcome be. Same-day readings will be returned to you within 24 hours, or we can do one-on-one Zoom calls, and I have a few spaces available for this coming week. Lastly, I offer this very beautiful Divine Union journal that comes with a set of affirmation cards and journal prompts. Originally, this is something that I designed for myself. As I mentioned earlier, I was going through loops, and when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of my own nonsense, then I decided that I needed to make some certain changes, and I designed these to help me shift my mindset and my self-concept. And it took me from being in that loop to being with my twin soul. So once again, the link to everything that we have discussed today are within my bio.